Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS. Let's get to the news. So here we are, right in the thick of NFL offseason moves, and the Cleveland Browns are actively reshaping their roster in the final stretch before the regular season begins. It's no secret that the Browns have been one of the most intriguing teams this offseason, especially considering how they've handled their roster moves with a strategic eye on competing at the highest level. And one of the most recent and surprising moves, the release of Pierre Strong Jr., a player who, despite all expectations, just didn't find his footing with Cleveland. Now, this move might seem minor on the surface, but it actually speaks volumes about the team's current state and their plans heading into the season. Pierre Strong Jr. was drafted in 2022 by the New England Patriots in the 4th round, a pick that created some buzz at the time. He showed flashes of potential during his college career at South Dakota State, and the Patriots saw enough promise to give him a shot. But unfortunately, his NFL journey so far has been a bit of a roller coaster. Over his 3 seasons, Strong has amassed only 499 rushing yards, and despite being given opportunities, he failed to fully establish himself as a reliable option in the backfield. When he arrived in Cleveland, there was hope that he could develop into a key piece of the Browns' running game, especially considering how the team has been trying to build a versatile and explosive rushing attack. But the truth is, Strong just couldn't quite find his rhythm. And with the roster deadline looming, the Browns decided to part ways. This decision is not entirely surprising when you consider the current situation at running back for Cleveland. On paper, the Browns were expecting to have a solid duo of rookies in the backfield, particularly with Dylan Sampson, the 4th-round pick in this year's draft. Sampson is known for his explosiveness and big play ability, and there's a lot of excitement about what he could bring to the team. However, reports suggest that Sampson might not yet be ready to shoulder a large workload. He's promising but still raw, and the coaching staff is probably cautious about rushing him into a role that could overwhelm him early on. And then, of course, there's veteran Jerome Ford, who's expected to be Cleveland's starter at running back. Ford showed flashes last season, but he hasn't quite lived up to the lofty expectations that come with replacing a legend like Nick Chubb. Chubb's injury and subsequent departure created a huge void, and while Ford has the talent, consistency has been an issue. The team needs him to step up and be the reliable workhorse they envisioned, especially with the season approaching fast. Adding to this complex situation is undrafted rookie Amani Marshall. During training camp, Marshall made some noise with his impressive performances, showing he's got potential and could develop into a valuable depth piece. But as promising as he looks, he's still very much a project at this point, more of a developmental player than someone who's ready to take on a big role. The Browns are likely keeping him in the mix as a backup, someone who can step in if needed but not yet a primary option. All of this ties into the uncertain status of Quinshon Judkins, the 2nd-round pick who has yet to sign his rookie contract. Judkins faced a domestic assault charge that was eventually dropped, but the incident has cast a shadow over his entry into the league. Even if he signs his deal before the start of the season, there's a real possibility that he could be suspended for violating the NFL's personal conduct policy. This uncertainty makes the Browns even more cautious about their backfield plans, leaving the door open for potential moves. In fact, with the roster situation as it stands, Cleveland might be exploring options to bring in a running back from another team, someone who can provide immediate depth and contribute right away. The Browns have shown a willingness to adapt quickly, and with some of the key pieces still in flux, it's entirely possible that we could see a trade or signing in the coming weeks. The team is clearly aware of the importance of having a stable and reliable running game, especially with the offensive line's potential to open running lanes for their backs. This move to release Strong isn't just about cutting a player, it's about making room for a better fit, someone who can contribute more consistently and help the team achieve its goals. Cleveland has been building a strong defense and a dynamic passing attack, but a balanced run game is crucial in today's NFL, and the Browns know that better than anyone. Their focus is on solidifying the roster with players who can step in and perform right away, especially as the season approaches and every game becomes more critical. Looking ahead, the Browns' running back situation remains a bit of a puzzle. They're banking on Jerome Ford to step up, but he's got to do more than just fill a role. He needs to become a reliable, consistent force for the offense. Meanwhile, Sampson's explosive talent could be a game changer, but he needs some time to develop and adapt to NFL speed and physicality. The coaching staff, led by Kevin Stefanski, will likely be cautious, patient, and strategic in how they deploy their running backs early in the season. And let's not forget, the AFC North is as competitive as ever. The Ravens, Bengals, and Steelers all have their own star-studded rosters, and Cleveland knows that even small advantages can make a huge difference. So plans to bolster the backfield through the draft or free agency could be a game-changer for their playoff hopes. The Browns have been known for their resilience, and they're certainly not standing still. They're actively looking for ways to improve, to adapt, and to stay ahead of their division rivals. The overall outlook for Cleveland is still very promising. The defense, led by stars like Myles Garrett, remains one of the toughest units in the league. The offense has the potential to be explosive with Deshaun Watson at quarterback, especially if they find stability at the running back position. The team has been assembling pieces that can fit together seamlessly, and the recent roster moves are just the latest step in their ongoing quest for Super Bowl glory. Fans are excited, and rightfully so. The energy around the Browns is high, and expectations are rising as we inch closer to the start of the season. But of course, the big story here is how Cleveland is navigating the tricky waters of roster management, especially at the running back position. The release of Strong Jr. highlights the team's commitment to building a roster that's not just talented, but also cohesive and ready to compete at the highest level. It's a reminder that in the NFL, nothing is static. Things can change quickly, and teams that adapt best are often the ones who succeed. The Browns are clearly in that mode, and the fans are eager to see how this puzzle will come together on the field. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this move? Do you think the Browns will bring in another running back to strengthen their squad? How do you see Jerome Ford, Dylan Sampson, and the other backs fitting into Kevin Stefanski's game plan? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cleveland Browns. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Cleveland Browns news. Remember, the season is just around the corner, and every move, every decision, every game counts. Cleveland is gearing up for a big year, and with the roster still in flux, it's one of the most exciting times to be a Browns fan. Keep your eyes peeled for any new signings, trades, or surprises. They could be the difference between a playoff run and an early exit. So stay engaged, stay passionate, and let's see how this story unfolds together. Thanks for listening, and as always, go Browns.